Silver disappearing to India faster than we think, folks. We are giving up our silver. I'm going to explain what that is going on in India and how we're getting it to India. Also, we're going to do some tracking stuff, folks. Digital currency is coming faster than we think. So I'm going to explain to you what I think what's going on. So please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to get into the video right now. Thank you for all the ones who have subscribed to me already. Let's keep the channel growing, and I appreciate every single one of you. Let's just get into the video right now, folks. Look, I talked to a bullion dealer this morning. He's saying he had to send 30,000 ounces of rounds and bars to the melter. The coin shops are not buying from him right now. He's getting his warehouse kind of full right now. It's no 90% silver to be found, he's saying, on his end. People are just selling left and right to many coin shops right now. It's Christmas season. We can blame it on that. We can blame it on people are hard up for money. People losing their jobs left and right. What's happening, folks? It gets sent to the melter, and then it gets sold to the COMEX. Then where does it go? Places like China, places like India. They're taking our silver away from us on a daily basis. They need it for their solar panels. They need it for their electronics. Folks, I mean, yes, I had to sell too. I can't tell anybody not to sell if they need to sell. We're all trying to make ends meet here, and I understand that people need to sell. But I totally get that version that people need to sell right now. And not everybody needs to sell right now. Some people are still buying. But I tell you what we're seeing at the shop right now, we're seeing a lot of selling going on. A lot. And it's really heartbreaking to see people, doing this for years and years. And these customers buying first name. At least by first name. Not all of them. But, when they come in and say they have to sell, they need to sell for this, that, this, whatever. It's mostly Christmas related. And, I mean, if we just look forward to next year, what's going to happen next year at Christmas time? I just don't know. I mean, I just don't see how we're going to, get the jobs back here. And people are just desperate for money right now. People are tapped out. Their credit cards are maxed out. And it's sad. Our bullion dealer has never sold to the melter. And probably, he said, since 2011, when silver was $50 an ounce. That's going to be the next run, folks. Silver is going to go, I do believe silver and gold are going to do a spike in 2025. How much? Just throw a dot at a dot board and see where it lands, and that's probably how much it's going to be. I mean, anybody can play the guessing game. Yes, I threw out my winter predictions for silver and gold in a previous video. You know what? I could be wrong too. All right? I could definitely be wrong with the prices. Who knows? I really did not think we're going to dip this low. So, yeah, it's being sold to India, folks. It's being sold to China. I did talk to the guy from India late last night. He called me really late last night, about 11:30 p.m. last night. And he says, people are buying smaller fractional silver in India. That's what they're mostly buying. They are buying, if they get the silver eagles or the maples or anything that's silver, they are buying that a little bit. But the most part, they're buying small little grams at a time, 10-ounce gram bars, 5-ounce gram bars. That is what they're buying in India, little by little by little. They're stacking. They're stacking in a lot smaller way. Do you remember, their money is pretty much worthless in India. And there's a lot of poor people in India, too, are trying to make a living that way out in that country as well. So with that being said, it's not the silver we're saying to India or China the people are getting. No, their governments are getting the silver. Then they're selling it to the manufacturers that need to make the goods that we need, like solar panels, stuff like that. The new car batteries. I'm not going to get into all of that because I don't believe these new EV cars are worth a crap to begin with. When it takes hours to charge an EV car, over 5-6 minutes to fill up your gas tank, and maybe even less than that. To be fully honest with you folks, you guys know how much it takes time to fill up a gas tank. It don't take very long, but when it takes 3 or 4 hours to charge a car battery, it's be kind of hard to go across the damn country with an EV car and do it in the same amount of time. You can't, all right? These cars were made for in town, around the area that you live. They were not made for long-haul transportation at all. And I think they're, I'm just not going to get into it that much because I don't want to say anything that I'm not supposed to say. So just read between the lines on that one. So yeah, silver being sold in record numbers we've seen at the shop. Look, we took in, I think it was about $18,500 in silver yesterday, and we're not selling to the bullion dealer yet. Okay, we're not. We're still got a little bit of room in the safes. We might have to start selling back to the bullion dealer to make some room in the safe. Our owner is very well capitalized still at this point, but those funds are running dry, folks. The business account is running down because we keep buying and buying and buying. We're not really selling. So at some point, yes, we're probably going to have to sell to the bullion dealer, and hopefully he can say something, and hopefully another shopper can pick some of this up. But we're not getting phone calls. Do you have this? Do you have this? Look, we got about everything in stock right now. We got some 90%. We're never going to send the 90% silver to the bullion dealer or the melter. We have not sent anything for melt as of yet. That may be coming through the pipelines very, very soon. I'm just being honest with you folks. We're not going to send our 90 out to get melted down because our owner does not want that to happen. We're trying to preserve every piece of 90% silver out there, and it just fries my butt when it's getting that type of silver melted down. Look, they can make buffaloes all day long. They can reproduce the buffaloes all day long. Yes, it's silver, but they can remake those. They cannot remake the old constitutional 90% silver anymore. That is never going to be made again. So we have to try to protect our history. And I know some people say 20 years from now, 30 years from now, people are not going to care less about the history of our country. Well, we don't know that quite yet. We don't know that. To me, I'm 40. I'm going to be 45 in February here, and 90% silver was really before my time. I love this stuff. I don't know how I fall in love with the 90% silver, but after hearing many stories of what people did with 90% silver back in the day, of how much goods and services you could get with a silver dime, a silver quarter, a silver half dollar, that means a lot to me. I mean, we got to remember the people that are more so on the upper scale of age, like 60 to 65 and plus. And those people really remember those days, have seen those days of what the value of real money is. Not this Bitcoin stuff, none of this other crypto stuff, whatever you want to call it. That's not real money. That, to me, is a Ponzi scheme. Always will be a Ponzi scheme in my book. And I don't want nothing to do with it. I got some mining stocks. I've been honest with you guys with that. Yes, I own some mining stocks. The 2 mining stocks I own is First Mining Gold and Silver Mountain. Do your own research on those 2 stocks. I'm not telling you to buy anything at all. You have to make your own decision on that. I will be honest with you. The stocks, since I bought them, they are down. All right, they are down. So I'm holding. Silver Mountain's supposed to stop mining next year in 2025 at some point. First Mining Gold, I do like the company. They both of these companies both have their own money into their own companies. So, with that being said, that's what I like about these two companies. If you go back and look at 1929, folks, just do your homework on that. When the stock market collapsed, the mining shares did really, really good. Are we going to have a history repeated again? Is that coming in 2025? Is that coming in 2026? That I cannot tell you 100% sure. I don't know. I'm just being honest with you. I cannot predict the future at all. So, with that being said, we're just going to go on some tracking stuff. You know, they want to come out with this digital currency, folks. And it really started with, you know, if you really stop back and think where this all started with, look at PayPal. You know, I love PayPal. I do have a PayPal account that links in the description anyways. But it started with PayPal transferring money. You have a transaction there. You know, look at Western Union. That's kind of gone. You know, that's kind of gone now. It's all done through digital ways. You know, no more going to this Walmart, whatever they had, MoneyGram, and everything else, just like that. I'm not sure if those things are still available. You guys have to let me know in the comments. I don't use that stuff anymore, but everything's gone really digital. Look at the debit cards that they came out with years ago. Yes, it's easier, but what happens again when the power goes out? What happens when a tropical storm comes, a hurricane and stuff, a snowstorm up north? They're telling you to have cash on the sidelines. Cash. And for emergency. And because the ATMs won't work. Your banks will be out of power. Well, it's the same thing with this crypto stuff. What's going to happen when a storm comes and you need access to quick cash? And guess what? And there is no more cash. There's no more fiat currency around. Digital will not work in those type of scenarios. Yeah, people say it was only 2 or 3 days. Well, you better have 2 or 3 days plus of supplies in your house. You just never know what the next storm's going to bring. You never know what curveball we're going to bring next. And look, all these shopping cards, meaning, you know, if you shop at Kroger, you shop at Winn-Dixie, you shop at a supermarket, has these cards, CVS, Walgreens, these cards for the store. Any of those type of stores, you're being tracked. Everything you're buying, that you scan your card, you're being tracked of every single thing you are buying. They are holding that record. Now, I'm not saying you're buying anything that you're not supposed to be buying, but why should anybody be tracking our purchases at all? You know, a few months ago, I told this story this before, but I'm going to have to say this again. I went out shopping early for my grandmother one morning, and I didn't eat breakfast that morning. So I stopped at McDonald's. All right? I had my cell phone in my pocket. This is probably closer to when I started YouTube back in June. And I ordered an English muffin, sausage English muffin meal with an orange juice, and it came with a hash brown. 3 days later, I didn't pull out my phone at all. My phone was in my pocket. Phone was on. I went up to the self-kiosk, folks. 3 days later, Google notifies me that I made a purchase at McDonald's. It was the same exact transaction. Every time you go into a store, you have your cell phone on you. That store knows you're in their store. The satellites know where you're at. So if you're worried about being tracked, well, don't bring your cell phone anywhere with you. Leave it at home. That's where we're being tracked with everything. You know, and it's really sad. And they want to know everything we buy. And then eventually they want to do everything that we sell. We're not going to even have to have a yard sale and take cash. It's going to be done by, transfer money from account to account and saying exactly what the item is you sold. And that is where we're heading, folks. And it's really scary. The only way out of that scenario is silver and gold. But the barter system's coming back. And it's happening now. And if people don't start waking up to this, that we need silver and gold in our lives to get outside the gosh darn system, then we're going to fall into this system, folks. And we're going to be tracked on every single thing we do. Like we are basically now, and people just don't realize it. That's all I got for you folks. If you guys have questions for me about silver, gold, or platinum, please email me. My link will be in the description of every single video. Email me away. I thank you all for watching. CoinShop Chris is out into the next video.